So this is the birthplace of Acorn Soupe. This is McCormick Ranch. Acorn Soupe started organically around the ranch in 1996. We brought kids out to gather some acorns, and a year later we brought the trees back and planted them. But what I saw happen that first day out here surprised me. That I thought we were just about acorns, and it turned out we're about a whole lot more.
I've been teaching for a long time and searched for years for an organization that could help me bring alive life sciences for my students, and that's what Acorn Soupe does.
While walking down the trails in the out of doors, that child that was unreachable in your classroom sometimes comes alive, and magical things happen when you're out with nature around you. The power of nature really brings learning alive in the hearts and minds of the kids.
When she was a second grader, and she said to me, "Anna, when I'm an abuela, a grandmother, I'll be able to point up to McCormick Ranch from St. Helena and say, those were trees that I planted, and there'll be another grandmother oak." And it was in that moment that I realized that all the years we've been doing it, the kids get it, and they get the stewardship, and they get that it's their valley to take care of and to be proud of.
So we've been stewards all that time, and we've done a lot of things right from what I can figure out, and we've done a few things that we didn't know better, so we have an opportunity to fix them. And in that opportunity, we are including children so that we can leverage the thinking and the knowledge and all become better stewards.
They're reciting back to us what they've been taught, and just getting it, knowing the beauty of natural systems, and that's what I want for my students, and that's what Acorn Soupe gives them. I have so many kids saying they want to go into science, and when the kids come back from the field trips and we're going to have a science lesson, they're geared up for it. They want to be scientists. They are attentive. They have experience hands-on, so that as we're studying in class, the local habitats, food webs, water cycle, air cycle, rock cycle, all of it, they relate to it, they know about it, they're much more connected to it, and a lot of them end up wanting to be scientists, and there isn't anything better than that for me, to see that in my students.
You realize that a classroom, while nice, doesn't always bring out the best in a student and that you are looking for. We've had marvelous writing happen by getting in touch with nature. Kids who were writing just horrible stuff, and by going out and sitting on a ridge and watching the birds soaring overhead and listening to the sounds of the critters and feeling their heart, finding their voice, and suddenly writing the most incredible, beautiful poetry, and then coming back into the classroom and continuing to write more thoughtful, feeling poetry, and their writing just changing. And then, because they now understand the power of the words through poetry, having it transfer into their regular writing of prose. And that's the kind of thing that you wouldn't think of the out of doors affecting language arts, but it does.
The singing of trees makes the soil feel full. The mountains will rise. The lakes will be mighty oceans. The smoke and smog will clear. The sun will shine through.
And as a result of this, awakening of the poet's heart, by sitting next to Grandmother Oak, or sitting on the ridge out at McCormick Sanctuary, 2 students in my class have won national recognition in the River of Words Poetry Contest.
So what we're trying to do is leverage being good stewards of the land by teaching our children as they're growing up. And we have a program that kids can participate in each year, and we do 5 different things with each class each year, so that by the time they get to high school and they're in leadership roles.
I feel so sorry for Zach. We're going to have like such a fun time and he's not.
He didn't want to come because he wanted to go home and play video games, but he's really missing out because
yeah, it's fun to get dirty.
It's fun to get dirty, and you get to save the ecology and plant trees. So this is a lot better than video games or watching TV or anything that we could do at home. So I'm glad that we came.
I like Acorn Soupe because you can go out up into the land and do hands-on things like the tree planting or taking the pictures. And it's not just one big classroom lesson. You get to work with the land. You're not just being told things, not being fed them.
Amazing things happen in my classroom after we come back from an outside experience. We live in this incredible valley, and we all talk about preserving it. Well, there's no better way to preserve it than to teach our children while they're young that they're the stewards of this valley. It becomes part of the warp and weft of who they are as they grow up, and that's what Acorn Soupe does best.
So today Acorn Soupe offers an opportunity for all of us to be pioneers, because times have changed so much. We used to be about exploring the wild lands and taming them. Today we're more about preserving them for the future and making everything sustainable. So it's an opportunity to be pioneers with us in raising a new generation of stewards of the land. Both in Napa and Sonoma counties, we welcome you to join us.
The children learn more by just being there with the naturalists than I could ever bring to them in the classroom. They also provide transportation scholarship for my students for our field trips because of the economic need at my school, and I am so grateful for this gift that Acorn Soupe provides.
We're working with existing clubs on campus, or we're helping to form environmental groups at the junior high and high school level, and we'll help facilitate issues in their communities that they help identify. Whether it's restoring a creek because the water temperature is too high, whether it's starting a recycling, a really effective recycling program on their campus. That's what we'll help them with. We want the children coming up with the ideas, and we'll just help facilitate it. Because that's where the leadership is, not in doing it, of course, but also in seeing what needs to be done so that they will do it. So our goal is to be a model where we can be replicated. So we're working in both Napa and Sonoma counties, and if we can be successful here, others can pattern what we've done and make it work in their communities.
I teach kindergarten, first and second graders, 4 to 8-year-olds, and it is an incredible part and an integral component for my classroom to be involved with Acorn Soupe.
So your help is not only appreciated, but it is needed. For this program to really work, we're going to have to all get behind it. The demand is tremendous, and we want to fill that demand because that's when we're going to make a difference. We need time, talent, and yes, cash. That could come in the form of a check, it could come in the form of corporate sponsorship, it could come in the form of a foundation grant, it could come in your wills. It goes to providing these programs for the children. What we have figured so far is that we will grow by increments of approximately 22 to 25 classes for a team of 3 naturalists. And that's what your funding can go to that. Your funding can go to supplies to support the program. It can go to office space that we need to operate the program. There's lots of ways that you can help. Please join us in raising a new generation of stewards of the land in both Napa and Sonoma counties.